What's going on, guys? So this is a red box, this is a salmon colored Gundam, and this is Master Grade Monday. Seems like we haven't done this in a while. Let's get to it. Alright, guys. So on this Master Grade Monday, we're going to take a look at something that I unboxed like 3 weeks ago. And it is the... we're going back to not being able to read the covers again. It's a CA Casval's Gundam. Yay! Of course, it looks very much like a Grandpa Gundam, an RX-78. It kind of says that it is down here, but we're not even going to look at that. Anyways, and it is a 3.0 version, which we have looked at the old 3.0 version before. You can check it out up here in the thingy. And yeah, it's P-Bandai, which is why the box looks the way it does. And I'm not going to do a full-on box review because basically it's a P-Bandai, so rotating it is kind of pointless. We know the price is going to be way more than it says on the box because P-Bandai prices and, P-Bandai and American retail prices, so yeah. And I do believe I paid something like, I don't know, $95 to $100 for this, if I remember correctly. It was kind of part of that big, oops, I bought all this stuff by accident at the same time situation I had a few months ago that really set me back. But either way, well, that's it pretty much for the box. Just pretend that I flipped it upside down, or just maybe I'll go ahead and... Yep, there we go. All right. So no build montage for this one. I did have a brief live stream while I was working on it with my buddy Eric, but you can go check that out in your own time if you really want to. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and jump straight to the review. Alright guys, so here we have the Casval Gundam out here, and looking, well, actually on camera, not looking as pink as it really is. I've had to play with the the white balance a little bit to try to really get across the actual color of this thing. And I did about as good as I could, to be totally honest. And yeah, right off the bat, before we get into all of these things, while building this, you'd think I'd be reminded of the first time I built the 3.0 Gundam, and I wasn't, with the exception of a couple things. Just overall, the build itself was frustrating. I had problems, and some of those are going to come to light as we go through the Gundam itself, and you can see my hands are a lot bluer than they normally are. But just aesthetically, I guess it's okay, but there's going to be problems with that too, as we're going to look at. But let's just look at accessories and stuff right here, right off the bat. We'll push the Gundam back just a little bit. And first and foremost, we've got the big old shield that it doesn't want to focus on. Hey, autofocus works. And yeah, it definitely comes in a couple different shades of red. You got the much darker red here, and you got the more char pinkish color around the outside, and you get water slides. So you get the RX-78 CA Gundam right there, and then I guess that's Char's actual logo itself. I'm not entirely certain. I know it's not the exact Xeon logo, or Neo Xeon logo, which is way back there on his shoulder. And this thing comes with very, very few water slides, and well, we'll go over those very briefly. And it is exactly like the normal shield that comes with the Gundam, except for the fact that it no longer has the cross across here. It is actually just a brand new piece here that completely eliminates that. Now, I did have a minor problem with this in the fact that the slider right here, well, now it's not going to slide anymore. I had to glue it in place because it was insanely loose. You could just flip it up and down, no problem. It wouldn't stay on the arm in any certain position. Now, you can, of course, mount it on the arm. You have the handle that goes in the hand. You have the little clippy part that goes around. And you do have pegs and stuff like that. So if we take the Gundam itself, bring it out here, you can... I'm looking at it sideways. Take the handle, throw it through the hand, like so, and just clip the clippy onto the back of the forearm. like so. And then, if you're so inclined, go ahead and try to close the fingers and thumbs around it. And he looks pretty cool. Looks like a freaking Gundam with a shield on his arm. And of course, if one is so inclined, that popped off super easy, which is another fault of this thing. You have this little spot right back here. I need a thing. What did I do with the thing I was poking stuff with? Sorry, my review desk is a little bit of a mess. If you rotate this centerpiece around using an old HG beam saber, you get a little square hole, and you can just peg the shield in like so. As I say that, I say like so, and then it doesn't like so. So you can peg the shield in, you can rotate it. Where's my camera aimed? There we go. So you can totally do with the shield as you wish. It's a pretty cool feature. It does come into some playability with the weapons as well. Once you get the standard accoutrement here, so you get the normal kind of Gundam rifle. Although there was a couple of option parts with this, because it also has a little bit of like the 2.0 built in as well with some of these weapons. I do like the color separation of the handle. I like that. It looks pretty good. You do get the scope, I guess is technically what it is. And it's hard to see right there in the light, but this is all gray. That's actually that darker brown color that you can see back here on the Gundam itself. And I added a tiny bit of gold right there just because. It does have the flip-floppy part here that is a handle. And the actual handle right through there does have the 3.0 style hand peg that totally flips out. And once again, pull him out here and extend the fingers. Come into the palm right here. You can see the peg. You can flip it out. And you can see it leaves a nice little groove there. It's much easier to show it off that way than the other. Now you take that and do your best to line those pegs up. Like so. And actually, this is very much my preferred way of holding the weapons, because not only is a solid connection directly to the weapon itself, but with these particular hands, it does grip it, quote unquote, or at least it looks like it's gripping it. And he's being safe by not having his finger on the trigger when he's not ready to shoot. So yay for that. Now with this gun, you also have the ability to store it. And you can flip out this peg here. Whoop. I can't always, he's doing a zombie. Okay, so you can flip out that peg there, put away the hand peg, come back here to the butt skirt, and you see you got a multitude of holes there, and this little piece does flip around, but odds are you're just going to want it to stay just like this, and there's your gun tabbed into the butt skirt. Not even the skirt, just the butt armor. And also, like I said, with the shield, you get these couple spots right here, and if one is also so inclined, you can totally store the weapon on the shield. I actually like that. I like the nice little hidden nature of that. That's pretty cool. And of course, we have the big bazooka. Just kind of the same bazooka we get with everything. And virtually all of these parts come from the, I think, the 2.0 Gundam. And they swap out this handle in particular for the newer style with the hand peg, just like that. You also have the peg right there for plugging into the backpack. I like to do that. You can either plug it in kind of vertically, like so. I tend to like putting it sideways across the back. I think it looks the best. It's a tight fit in there. Or you can put it down here on the butt skirt as well. Oop, not that one. Sorry, that's a very specific hole, so to speak. There you go. And I did add a little bit of gold paint in there just to break it up. And it's very nice. I like the fact that the actual barrel of the bazooka is pink to match. And you can hold it just like you would any other bazooka weapon, but these are my least favorite weapons to have any mobile suit hold. So I'm not going to struggle with it. I'm just going to roughly put it in his hand just to show you he can kind of hold it in place. It will help if his thumb would cooperate. There we go. So he can totally bazooka the things out of stuff. So that's fun. And of course, if you are, once again, so inclined, store that guy on the shield. So you've got all the weapons kind of pegged onto the shield now, and you can just set it off to the back like so, and you've got weapony, shieldy, sleddy happening back there. Now, of course, you've got the twin beam sabers up there on the backpack. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, these are fairly suggestive. Yeah. Now, I like the update back here. They actually look a little bit more like a lightsaber. I think, and I had a problem with this kit in that it's that when you're following most of the instructions, you're using the standard instructions for building the 3.0, which do not include which of the two F runners you're going to use, two color F runners, because you get the F runner in this color and you get the F runner in this brown color. So it's entirely possible that perhaps these are supposed to be brown. But without looking at the specific instructions, you won't know. Of course, you get two beam blades. I only want the one for now. And guess what can happen now? I bet you can't guess. Oh, that's right. He can totally hold this. Come on. Usually it's the thumb that's kind of in the way. But you can hold that. There is a problem with the fact that those fingers, you can see there, don't really wrap around anything. And I don't remember having that problem, to be totally honest with you guys. But I know that the hand is built correctly because that's the only way it can do. But if you push the fingers any further, they just pop out of the sockets. So it's a good thing you have that hand peg like so. Hey, unfortunately though, these beam sabers do not peg into the shield. They just don't. So I'm going to set that one off back here. Just get it out of the way. And we do have the final accessory slash part of the Gundam. You do have the core fighter. I like the core fighter. It's actually pretty cool. And this is, of course, where the instructions make you start. And so this is all I managed to do on the live stream with Eric. And it is quite colorful, so to speak. And you can see it when I don't have the light shining directly on it. It's got this pink color. It's got this darker reddish color. And then it's got the very dark, like, alright, so this closer to like maybe I don't know. But then you got the like maroonish color. You've got the gray. You've got the little pink pilot in there. I wasn't about to paint that. You get gray separation back here around the thrusters. I added some chrome just for fun. It won't focus. There we go. And something I'm very proud of, the painted landing gear, because otherwise those would be completely clear. And the other problem I have is trying to remove said landing gear, because it does stick in there very good. And it's not like I put the paint on the part that pegs in. That's just how snug the fit is. So always keep a thing handy. And you can see right there how scraped up that is. So that's how much that guy has been in there. But if we take a quick look at it up close, you can see it just added some chrome. And some of my favorites, dark gray ever. And then some black for the wheels. Very simple. Took me, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe. To get all this done. Looks very good and definitely gets away from the clear aesthetic. Literally, you know. So I dig that. It's one of my favorite things that I did for this. And just real quick, we'll go ahead and start comparing things because I have my original core fighter here. So you can see how it compares, color-wise at least, to the original. So the reds back here, probably the only thing that's very similar. Obviously, anything that's white is going to be this pinkish color. and then the parts there are definitely going to be all the blue color. So you guys can really see the major differences here. They're exactly the same otherwise. So take it however you want. But of course, setting this guy just aside for now, it does transform into the core mode. Just fold up the wings, you slide them in, you flip the pilot up, which is pretty cool because now he's sitting in a vertical position. You slide the cockpit up, and then you fold this thing down, and you can watch the tail fin actually tuck away. I like that. I like when he turns into its little core block mode. Speaking of that, if you come to the Gundam itself, you pop that open, and you just grab the whole boy, hold on to the base, and yoink that straight up. And here we have the little replacement core block that takes the place when you're not using the core fighter. It's identical to the one that's in the normal old boy over here. I just added a little bit of gold, a little bit of black paint. This part is just that. I didn't bother putting the pilot in it because, well, I'm lazy. But if you want to switch back to the core fighter itself, you just peg it in right there. It actually goes right into the thrusters, which is scary when you think about it. And he's like, ah! And then you take the whole body, you just slide it right on over that. It will peg in ever so gently, and then you just shut that to sort of lock it in place. And now we have the completed Casval Gundam. Yay! Now, the story behind this, I guess, is not that it's like what happened if Char got the Gundam. It's actually set up, I think it was from like a video game, if I remember correctly, that this was actually built by Xeon forces in the future, quote unquote, that basically really wanted to build a version of the Gundam using as many Xeon parts as they could, so to speak. So internally, it's supposed to be more like a Zaku or something along those lines, and they just did the outside to look like the famous Gundam, and because, Char, they went with all the red colors. The other main difference, other than that shield from the standard Gundam, is you lose the yellow V that goes right here on the little crotch door. Which I still assume is so he can get in and out of the Gundam when it's by itself, or, that way you don't have to use a core fighter to get in and out. Am I correct in assuming that? Alright, but since we compared the core fighter, let's go ahead and compare the rest of it. And there he is, next to regular old Grandpa 3.0, who doesn't really want to stand. I think he's been on a stand too long, his feet forgot how to function. Oh, that is way too white. I have to back that off just a little bit here. There we go. So, wow, that looks really good on this light, not gonna lie. You guys can really, really tell the color differences here. One's red, one's not. And I will say, over the years, this boy definitely has gotten looser. So it's one thing I do appreciate over the new boy. And I'm sure I covered this in the actual review. These stickers right here do not stick worth a damn. Like, this one is mostly stuck down with super glue from back in the day and steel peeled up mostly. This one is still peeling to this day. Even these little thruster stickers are also peeling a little bit. Now, one thing you will notice right off the bat is that this one does not have all of the decals all over it. Now, I'll probably use some of them, like the white ones and stuff like that. The gray ones and the red ones and the pink ones are not going to show up on this guy, really. So I might not bother entirely. But you do get I guess that's the Char's logo, and then the Neo Zeon logo, and then you get Neo Zeon here, and you get the RX-78 CA there. So it's the cyanoacrylate Gundam. That's funny to me. Other than that, I don't know that I will put the rest of the stickers on. It comes with the entire sticker sheet for this. And I just think that, especially the shoulders, you're going to lose that. The chest, you're probably going to lose some of them. And you guys can tell how bad they stand out on this one. The pink and stuff like that go around the arms, that's just never going to show up. These gray bits might show up here, so maybe. I might have to just pick and choose. Now, these parts down here on the ankle guards that you guys can't even see, they're definitely not going to show up because of the pink or the brown ankle guards. Which, that was a point of contention as I was finishing this guy. I was thinking, wait a minute, are they supposed to be that color? Because it clearly showed me that these needed to be brown. I don't know. But that's enough comparison to the old guy. Alright, so taking a closer look at this boy. Whoop, there went the old grandpa. He just fell right over. Those feet are super loose now. That's why he lives on a stand. Head. Alright, so taking a look at the new red boy here. Or salmon boy, as we're known on Off the Runner. The head is comprised mostly of this pink color. Of course, you get the gray coming through on the Vulcan and the cheeks. The eyes are pretty much completely dead because they are the clear eyes for using an LED in here. I believe I'm going to get a pink or maybe a purple LED for that. You do get the clear-ish camera up top and around the back, although I don't believe that one will light up. I could be wrong. The head does come off just like it should. Correction. Well, this entire chunk here is supposed to come off so you can insert the LED, but the entire neck decided to come off instead. It is what it is. Now, you can even see here the multitude of reds and pinks that are on the head. So you've got the darker red for the chin and the crystal thingy here. You have the pinkish color here for this part of the head, this part of the head, and then you've got what I consider to be almost a like neon orangey color for here. Now that's not going to come across on camera as well, but it's the same kind of color as the beam sabers and even the shoulder armor, stuff like that. Articulation is not going to be any different, so I'm not going to bother going over it, but I will show off the fact that it does have some articulation problems, including these arms, which these are about the patchworkiest arms I've ever seen. Now this comes down to whether or not I follow the instructions properly, because once again, the not telling which runner color you're supposed to use. So like these are brown. It's entirely possible these should have been pink. Same thing with the elbow guards, although I believe the elbow guards probably should have been brown. Same thing back here, same thing back here. I mean, I'm not completely opposed to the way it looks, but it's very, very strange. Now, you do get the copper stickers for the joint. They don't stick worth a damn, and they are peeling currently, especially that one right there. But what I wanted to show off is the fact that this elbow is stuck. Look. It's not supposed to be a ratcheted elbow. I don't have that problem on the original Grandpa. And actually, I see where I cut the stickers short. Now, the upper elbow works just like it should. No problem. The lower elbow does not, unless you really, okay, it can come up and you can get a nice bend by like brown magnetic joint thingy. But when you come back down, it is totally like stuck at this point until you really kind of push past it. And I mean, it's fairly stiff. Now, something I didn't remember from the old Grandpa, I kind of had to relive as I built this one, is you get a little bit of wiggle waggle here. So you get a good like mega wrist joint along with the ball joint that you have in the wrist. Not to mention a little bit of bend you actually get down there. Now the fingers gave me problems when I was taking it apart, building it. Several of the ball joints popped out just during assembly, because it does come all on a single runner. You have to kind of cut it loose and then break the joints loose. I don't like the long spindly nature of these fingers. I would actually much rather get some of the older style hands for these. You've already seen before when it was holding the beam sabers. It doesn't really do the thing. And I don't like it, to be totally honest. One thing I wanted to show off, because I want to call this kind of a patchworky Gundam. Right in here, you can see the different color reds. So you got the darker kind of, I don't know, mauve. I like the color mauve. Then you got the pink. Then you got the dark red. Then you got this flesh tone. Then you got the dark red. It's so strange and patchwork colored. At least when you come down to the side skirts, it's actually kind of a stripe. So you got the pink, you got the neon color, you got the flesh color, you got the brown, and then you got the pink again. And that wraps all the way around, kind of continuously, keeping the color scheme. So anything that was yellow is now this dark brown. The backpack is still gray. You get the neon orange color inside there. Thrusters are identical, no change there. When you come to the back of the legs, you can see more patchworky color, whereas it's a barely different color separation between white and a light gray and a darker gray on the Grandpa. This is incredibly different. You know, the fact that these weren't brown kind of caught me off guard. So getting like this kind of or flesh-ish color is so strange. Now what I don't understand is this definitely pointed out that this should be pink, but the ones down here and the ones up here should at least be brown. No idea why it did that. They just really wanted some very different color separation, and they got it. And you can see a panel lined in a multitude of colors, either gray or brown. Oh, I skipped over it. I didn't bother using the copper stickers for the back of the knees. I just used my red gold, which is just what it is. I should have just used that on this no matter what. So you've got some more copper sticker right there. And you're going to ask, why didn't you just use your copper paint? Because I knew it wasn't going to apply properly. That's the main reason. And I was on a time crunch. I built this thing essentially in an afternoon and a half to try to make sure I got it done. I don't even... Oh, one complaint for sure. I just reminded of it. So you can see the crotch part here. You've got all the different bits. This part, particularly right here, straight off the runner, cleaned up, put in, and it clips in sort of up through here and then in the back. Would not stay in place. Period. It just continually fell off. It had no friction, had no tab, no nothing. Just fell straight off the Gundam every single time I put it on. Well, you know, it wasn't assembled, but you get what I mean. And so I glued it in place. If you have that problem, either on this one or any of the 3.0s you may have built, let me know. Let me know if you've had any of the problems that I've had with this. The stiff elbows, the copper stickers that just will not stay stuck, essentially. And it's not that the joint is rubbing them. Assembling it pushes them off, and then they just suck from there on out. The water slides I applied using no, not Mark Set or Mark Softer. Microset. Presumably these will stay on. I don't know. Those are about the size of the ones that fell off on my Hazel, so maybe, maybe not. This one you do have to cut to get through the moving joint there. That wasn't a big deal. Once the microsol hit it, it helped me soften it up so I could cut it, but it does leave a broken view, but it is what it is. Overall, I just don't know. Definitely wasn't worth the full American P-Bandai price. I can say that for sure. The color separation is strange at best. But I guess when your main inspiration is this, I guess that you sort of end up with some weird stuff. Now, this has never looked more prosthetic colored than this ever on video. That is so bad. So we got the Charzaku 2.0, which I like these hands better. Like I said, these are the assembling kind of hands. I prefer these over those. And if this is supposed to be Zaku-ish inside, or at least Xeon on the inside, I would think that technologically it should be similar to this guy. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't feel that it was worth the money. The end result is okay. It's pretty cool. And I think that I have to find it now because I pulled it out for a project and now I don't know where it went. I have a Xeon base. So I have this old Federation base that my normal grandpa lives on. I think I'm going to put this on the Neo Xeon base when I find it. Hopefully I still have it because I don't believe you can order them anymore. And I think I might mirror the normal, how he's holding the the core fighter, like playing it with a toy plane. I think I'll mirror that with the other one. So here's, once again, here's the grandpa by himself. I definitely prefer the standard colors over the red. Now, there are other versions of this in the older 2.0 or even maybe the 1.5. I don't believe there's a Verka version, but I think that this is not worth it. I might decorate it up again, once again, with the extra stickers and stuff like that. But, you know, overall, I can't recommend it unless you really just have to have it in your collection. All right, so final thoughts wise, guys. Get it if you can get it at a good price, I guess. Maybe you'll have slightly better experience than I have. I think the instructions are mildly faulty because you have one sheet that only tells you the brown runners that you're going to use versus the pink runners. So I might have to actually end up fixing this, or I might just leave it with the oddball colors because this might need to be pink, this might need to be pink, stuff like that. The cool new Neo Xeon decals, or water slides rather, they are what they are. I mean, the cool custom shield is what it is. So if you absolutely have to have it, if you're a Char fan, by all means. But otherwise, don't bother. Don't waste your money on it. Just get this one if you really have to have this version. I can't wait to get my hands on the Origin Grandpa, maybe even one of the older ones, maybe even the War and Pocket version. I haven't seen that one. I'm sorry, the 1 Year War version. Sorry about that. And maybe even an older version of this guy. But for now, I can't really recommend this P-Bandai product for you if you're just a casual builder or casual lover of the Grandpa. But I think in a display, they'll probably look okay together. And this worked out better than I thought it would, to be totally honest. But guys, that's going to be it for this Master Grade Monday. It's the first one we've really done in a while. And yeah, so make sure to give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you are new here. We're going pretty quickly again right now. And come back on every Monday. Hopefully I'll actually get these Master Grade builds rolling again. Some of them are pretty in-depth, like the ones I've got left over down there, or some of the bigger Master Grades we've gotten in the last couple years. But guys, if you're interested in helping support the channel in a little bit, for about $5 a month, you can join in on the Patreon right here at patreon.com/ShokyReviews, and you can go over there and see some stuff early, like the patrons will actually see this video before you guys on Monday, so they probably saw it either Saturday or Friday night. And if you want to help support the channel in another way, you can totally get a Shoky shirt right here. They're all pretty much affordable and ships anywhere, usually within the EU or America or the US. So every little bit goes to help this channel grow so I don't have to rely entirely on YouTube money. That's it for the Casval Custom. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next review. And remember, as always, keep on building.